What is up, everybody? Welcome to Perspective Gaming. I'm your host, Flame078, logging in from the real world to give you perspective, or more specifically, getting perspective. This video series tackles something that's been on my mind and I spell out my takes, and then afterwards we have a discussion in hopes that we can better understand ourselves. Today's topic is Anthem Overhyped? Let's get to it.
You either live with the choices you make, or die trying to change them. The story doesn't end here. It's just the beginning.
With E3 now over and the hype from all those conferences has died down, at least for me, I can really start digging deep into what actually happened. I gave you all my 15 most anticipated games from this year's E3, which I will leave links down below. But now I have to settle on some of my thoughts. And the first on the list is coming to grips on how I actually feel about BioWare's new game, Anthem. Am I hyped? Absolutely. But as the topic for today states, I think the hype is way too high for what we actually know. And what do we know really? A whole lot of nothing, to be honest. And to be quite frank, this announcement, if you really break it down, has a very eerie reminder of certain games we've gotten in the past. Destiny, Division. Alright. Let's go back to 2013. The days before we were jaded by big announcements at E3. Y'all remember that Division gameplay trailer? How epic it was? How amazing this premise was? Well, I remember. And more importantly, for some reason, Anthem's announcement trailer brought me back to exactly that. I got the same vibes, I felt super excited, and I was pumped, and it felt amazing. But something was not right for me. And it was not until I ran into this video by mistake by BeGaming. His video is titled Anthem May Be a Lie, a Side by Side. Essentially, the premise of his video talks about how the Anthem promo marketing strategy of this trailer and how it compares that to the Division when it first got announced, and how the reveal trailers were very similar, at least the way they were cut. And boy, I was shook. It made so much sense how I was feeling. Now, I definitely do not want to take away from Leon, so I definitely recommend checking out his video. I will leave a link down below. But I had to give him a shout out because I knew something was up, but I just couldn't put my finger on it for the longest time. Remember how I said we still know very little about Anthem? It was the same thing with the Division back in the day, if you really think about it. We really didn't know much, except for that announcement trailer, and then just a whole lot of speculation. So in that regards, Anthem really gives off these Division vibes. Besides comparing this to the Division, you know, this game gets compared a lot to a certain game, and that is Destiny. So before we really jump into this comparison, I do think Anthem is borrowing a lot from different types of games, but I want to stick to Destiny because I think it's the closest thing we can actually compare it to. I've stated this before, but Destiny for me failed, and I got really disenfranchised with the game. A big part of it is that I felt that the vanilla game we got was not what was promised or talked about, and that was mostly due to the fact that we let our imaginations go wild, and that it was exactly what happened with the Division, and now I think it's happening with the Anthem. I think back then, we really had no idea what Destiny was supposed to be. Was it supposed to be an RPG, an MMO, a first-person shooter? And it was being marketed with all these different ideas, so we just let our imaginations go rampant and it wasn't really concrete. I think over the time that it's been released, I think it's finally figured out what it's supposed to be and then it's figured out its place in the gaming genre. But at least for me, that process took way too long to figure out and I stopped playing couple months into the game. Now I may be comparing it to Destiny, so some of you may be thinking that Anthem is going to be a Destiny killer, but let me tell you right now, I don't think so, and there's no chance that's going to happen. Destiny still has its devout player base, and they aren't going to jump ship so easily. Especially with Destiny 2 around the corner, that's not going to happen. I also say that because we have no idea what this game is or it's going to be. Anthem is playing those same chords Division and Destiny did, and we need to keep that in mind. It is absolutely okay to be skeptical of this new game and draw lines to other games because that's how we'll be able to rationalize our purchase. But one thing is clear, Anthem does have the advantage here. Anthem can look at Destiny and even the Division on what needs to go right here. I would be shocked if BioWare ends up making the same mistakes these games did. But even with that advantage, the overall hype in my opinion, is still way too high. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot going for this game, and when I saw the trailer, I immediately shared it with all my friends and I put it on social media and I said, I'm definitely gonna buy this game. And like I said, we should be hyped, but I think there's a level of overhype that is being attached to this game that is very dangerous and that could lead us to get very disappointed once again. It's one of those fool me once, fool me twice situations where we need to be aware and more vigilant about these things. We need to demand beta accesses, we need to see more gameplay, we need to see mechanic breakdowns, we need to see actual story elements. You know, we have to demand to see more of the actual game that we're being promised before we let our imaginations go wild and then potentially get let down like we did with these other games. I mean, I for one, I'm still going to be following this game pretty closely, just that reveal alone left me with a lot to want and to play. But I'm going to be anxiously waiting for more content, and I can't wait to actually get a release date for this game. So I say to all of you, just keep a level head and make sure we keep our eyes open so that way we don't get disappointed. Let's not fall into that trap again, and let's make sure that we tell these developers and these companies that they have to make sure that they deliver on what they promise and not sell us these half-baked games. Well, that's it. You made it to the end of this video. Do you think Anthem is overhyped at this point in time? Leave a comment down below and give me your perspective. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have a suggestion for a Getting Perspective topic, you can leave that down below as well. If you like this type of content and want to continue our conversation, hit that subscribe button to get weekly videos like this one. My name is Flame078, this is Perspective Gaming, and I will see you next time. Adios!